Hey Sculpted Beauties, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I wanted to come and talk with you all about fat cells. But first, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Christina. I am a beauty entrepreneur who specializes in body sculpting and instruction. So let's first start by talking about what a fat cell even is. So you have a yellow sphere-shaped cell that has both a nucleus and a membrane, so a casing around the sphere-shaped cell that has fluid in it that is triglycerides, free fatty acids. There's some salt in it, there's some water in it, etc. Okay? We have a few types of fat. We have got the visceral fat. That is the fat that is insulating your internal organs. Fat is known as the dangerous fat. Now, although some of the visceral fat is definitely necessary, a surplus of visceral fat can be problem causing, okay? Then you have the subcutaneous fat. This is the fat that we tend to think of when we think of a person being overweight or having excess body fat. It's the squishy fat, the fat that you can see, okay? We also have what is called brown fat. We call this fat baby fat. This is the good fat. This is the fat that keeps us warm. It also can burn subcutaneous fat, but there is a process called beiging fat. This is what happens to your subcutaneous fat when you do cold therapy. Cold therapy would be along the lines of taking an ice bath or a cold plunge, jumping into a cold lake, or taking a cold shower, right? Or staying in a really, really cold environment, like a cold room, etc. So what happens when you have excess brown fat, but you're really, really cold, like for instance, taking a cold plunge, what happens to your brown fat or your baby fat or your good fat is it begins to burn the subcutaneous fat, the fat that you could see with your eyes, which is why people do things like cold plunges or cryotherapy, cold therapy, etc. Okay, so that is the subcutaneous fat that we are going to be talking about in today's video. Saying all of that to say the fat cell itself has two doors. It has an entrance and it has an exit. We get to choose which one of those doors are open, okay? So if you have a client who is like, I would like to lose some weight, how can I do that? Well, my answer would be focus on closing the entrance door of your fat cells. Of course, the client is going to say, well, how do I do that? Well, we first want to learn how to open up the entrance of the fat cell, which would be through eating refined sugar and carbohydrates. For example, drinking juice, drinking soda, eating cookies and cake, ice cream. Those kinds of carbohydrates and sugars stimulate the entrance of the fat cell to open up, which will cause the exit of the fat cell to close up by default. So in order to open up the exit of the fat cell, you would do the exact opposite of what you were doing to cause the entrance of the cell to open. So rather than eating refined sugars and carbohydrates, you would be eating foods that do not stimulate the exit to close up, which would be foods that are low in sugar and carbohydrates. Okay? So, eating foods like, if you're a carnivore, meat, eating foods like vegetables, some dairy product, mozzarella cheese, cheddar cheese, Parmesan cheese, etc. Drinking beverages like water. Things along those lines will stimulate the exit door to open up, and by default, the entrance door will begin to close. So that is the video on what a fat cell is, the fact that a fat cell has two doors, an entrance and an exit, and how to stimulate each door depending on your goals for your fat cells and for the shape of your body or your client's body all together. If you like today's video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button just to help people just like you find videos just like this. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can come back and get videos just like this in the future. But before you go, did you know that the Fundamentals of Body Sculpting, my master course, is just getting ready to go public? What that means is you now get the chance to become a sculpted beauty scholar, learning everything from how to start a body sculpting business, whether you want to start a mobile body sculpting business, home-based body sculpting business, or you want to go all out and just have a full-blown body sculpting spa. The Fundamentals of Body Sculpting Master Course was designed to teach you just that. Maybe you want to become a body sculpting instructor like me. The Fundamentals of Body Sculpting Master Course will teach you the science behind body sculpting. It will teach you what to do, what not to do, etc. The Fundamentals of Body Sculpting Master Course did not miss a beat. I am so excited about my master course getting ready to launch, because this master course is really going to change the game of contouring as we know it. If you become a sculpted beauty scholar before the Fundamentals of Body Sculpting Master Course goes public, you are opting into the course at a discounted price, because once the course goes public, the price will go up to regular pricing, which is much more expensive than it is held at pre-sale pricing. So if you're considering becoming a sculpted beauty scholar and you like to save money, catching the course at the pre-sale price is the way to go. I will see you all in the future.